everyone. This is Rudy. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to make a video reply today to an atheist who put up a video with some questions for me, and so I'm going to answer them as honestly as I can. But before I get into that, I just wanted to quickly share, I've been making videos for about a year now. I started in February of 2009, and for a year I've kind of, expressed my views on the world, and I've learned quite a bit from the YouTube community. I've got a lot of insight into the condition of, society, I guess, and it's been an eye-opener to say the least. But let me just share some of the insights, and you can take from this whatever you want. But I have shared that I question 9/11. I've shared that the official story that we've been given doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I've talked about World Trade Center 7, and when you look at that video, it's case closed. There's no way that World Trade Center 7 fell from a fire. When I look at the North Tower and the South Tower collapsing, I simply see towers exploding and not collapsing due to gravity. It's just, it's so obvious to me, and I align pretty much with everything that Richard Gage with Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth put out. But because I share that view and because I express it, I've been ridiculed quite a bit, and that's not completely unexpected. The Bible and Jesus Christ specifically says, if you take a stand for me and you take a stand for righteousness in God's name, that the world will persecute you. So, that's expected. I guess the eye-opener for me was that I'm persecuted from so many different angles and from portions of society I never expected to be persecuted from. As an example, because I do question 9/11, there are those that absolutely hate Muslims. They wake up in the morning with a deep-seated hatred for Muslims in their belly. And I am not a fan of the Islamic religion. I certainly don't want to see America move towards Sharia law. I want to keep America based on Christian principles as much as possible. But I don't have a deep-seated hatred for all Muslims. I certainly don't want to see death and destruction come upon Muslims. Now, do I know that there is a radical fringe group of Muslims that want to destroy this country? Hell yeah. And I'm willing to lay down my life and fight that if necessary. I'm willing to die for my beliefs. I mean, that sounds like just words and a hollow statement, but I promise you that it's the truth. And that if God ever decides to test me in that area, I hope and pray that I have the fortitude and the constitution and the character, to follow through with my words. But I believe what I believe so strongly that I'm willing to die for my beliefs. Now, having said that, I don't wake up in the morning and go look, for opportunities to give my life. I think it's actually a lot harder and a lot more admirable in God's eyes to live for something, to wake up in the morning and to be righteous and to do the righteous thing and to provide for your family, to provide for your community, to find yourself a good godly church and to insert yourself into the fabric of life and to live righteously. It's a lot harder to live for something than it is to lay down your life for something. It's actually very easy to lay down your life for something, but it's much harder to get up every morning and to live for something. But because I do question 9/11, I've been called domestic terrorist. I've been called a Muslim lover because I'm siding with the enemy. I even made a video. I talk about 9/11, but I've made videos denouncing atheism, denouncing evolution. I even denounced the KKK in my own hometown, and I was willing to accept whatever consequences would come of that video. And because I denounced the KKK, I've been called a nigger lover. And then because I started promoting James David Manning videos, who actually is a black preacher in Harlem, I've been called, all the things that go along with siding with a man of God who happens to be black. And because I promote Christian values, I have a Texas flag behind me, and I promote biblical values, I've been called, racist more times than you can imagine, and I'm intolerant. So it's it's absolutely absurd, all the different attacks that you get when you try to put forth your views. But I'm willing to take it. I think what I have learned is I admire people who stand up and say what's on their mind. And I hope and pray to God to continue to have the strength to share what's on my mind. And whether you agree with me or not, I hope we can both agree that freedom of speech and freedom of religion and freedom in general within a society is a very good thing. And that no matter how controversial the speech is, everybody should have the right to say what they believe and to question everything, including our government. So, in any event, Yazlanka is a YouTuber, and I'll post this as a video reply back, and I've got about 4 minutes here. I wanted to reply to these questions. And again, I don't claim to have all the answers, but I did watch your video. The words are shaking all over the place. It was a little hard to read, but I did write them down, and let me just go through them. The first thing I wanted to mention in your video was you said your followers, and that's about the most funniest thing I've ever heard, Yazlanka. I doubt very seriously there's anybody on this planet that considers themselves a follower of Rudy Davis. That is absolutely, it shows your mindset, because, you think that, Christians are followers of one man, Christians are followers of Jesus Christ. It's all about Jesus Christ. God became flesh, lived a life, was born of a virgin, did miracles that were witnessed by many disciples, exuded wisdom and parables and instructions for how to live a Christian and godly life. He was crucified on a cross for our sins, and he rose again the third day. Now, that was witnessed by many people and documented by many different disciples and also many historians. And there's a video I made with the various books regarding that. But please don't refer to any of the people that happen to subscribe to my channel as followers. You're insulting them. And if anybody actually did think that, I would slap the crap out of them. We follow Jesus Christ, and he is God become flesh, and he sets the example. So that was a funny thing that I picked up on in your video. But let me go on to your first question. How are you so sure there is a God? I'm so sure that there is a God and that there is a spiritual plane of existence that I'm willing to die for that. But even more than just dying for that belief, I'm willing to live for that belief. I'm willing to wake up every morning and go out and be ridiculed by the world, and to go out and to profess my belief, and I'm willing to go out and to try to be righteous as I can for my belief in God. Your question, how are you so sure there is a God? There's many arguments for God. I don't have time, to go into every single one of them. One of the things that I would ask for you to consider is the argument of consciousness, the argument of desire, the Kalam cosmological argument. For every single thing, there has to be a cause. I could go into biblical discussions with you about creation, but you obviously don't subscribe to the Bible. But if you're just a person of logic and reason, you would come to the conclusion that there is more to this universe than the physical plane of existence. Life itself cannot arise from inanimate objects. Imagine the periodic table of the elements. I don't know exactly how many there are, 113, 120, somewhere around there. But no matter how you mix all that stuff up, you never get anything that wants to do something, right? The argument of desire. Me and you have desires. I might want to go get a glass of water. I might want to go get a glass of chocolate milk. Rocks don't want to do that. So evolution doesn't create desire. Desire comes from your soul. And I made a video on that, and I'll try to find that and send that to you, Yazlanka. But there's a very powerful, logical, and reasonable methods to come to a conclusion that there is a spiritual plane of existence and that there has to be a divine creator. I'm running out of time here. Shoot, I'll tell you what. I want to give this the attention it deserves. I'm going to stop it and make a second video.